welcome to Schizophrenic Synopsis. My name is James, and this week myself and Rob are reviewing alien abduction movies. So he picked the much more recent than my film. He picked I think was it 2013's Almost Human, which is kind of a pretty fast-paced, just kind of wave after wave of anarchy kind of alien abduction movie. And I went with the kind of crazy, what the hell is going on, slowish burn from the 80s, Xtro. So yeah, this film is a little bit crazy. I will throw it out now that I'm going to say some spoilers with this. Yeah, because one of the best scenes in the film, kind of need to talk about it because it's pretty cool. Reminds me of kind of reminiscent of Gozu. But anyway, we follow Sam and Rachel and their son Tony. They're out in the, I'm not sure where they are. They have a cottage. They live in London, but they have a cottage out in the I can't remember where it is now. Yeah, it's away from the city anyway. And they have this cottage, and Tony and Sam are out playing with the dog, the pet dog. So Sam throws the stick, and throws it into the air, and this kind of like really crappy effect happens. Like there's all this like flashing light and all stuff like that, and basically Sam just disappears. He's gone. And then we kind of fast forward to a few years down the line, and I'm not sure how long. It can't be that long because Tony hasn't really aged at all. Or that might be a budgetary reason. But anyway, he's having like nightmares about his dad and things like this. And he's living with his mum in the city, in their apartment, with Joe, the mum's new boyfriend, well, fiance. And like I said, he's having dreams of his father again, these nightmares. And it actually coincides with kind of an alien kind of lands on Earth, another bright flash light kind of effect. And it's what's in this like goo, and this alien kind of is born from this goo and grows. He's kind of like someone walking like spider walk backwards, and they have the mask on the front and on the back of their head. So it looks interesting. You can kind of see it clearly what it is, but yeah, it looks a bit interesting. Not many people have done that before. And this thing gets hit by a car, and the guy that hits it runs out to see what is hit, because probably it looked like a person, and he gets killed by this alien, and so does the woman that's in the car. And then the alien kind of makes its way to a cottage. I'm not sure if it's it must be around the same area anyway, in the woodlands of where he had his previous house. Not sure if it's the same one, if the woman is like squatting. No, I don't think she is. I think she has her own house. Anyway, the alien gets in and impregnates her. So yeah, she blows up and she's pregnant with this alien, but it's all going really quick. It's kind of expanding. And this is where it kind of goes to Gozu. She gives birth to a full-size Sam, obviously killing her. You see him coming out and it's like blood everywhere. It's pretty cool actually. It looks fun. It looks good. I'm not sure fun's the right word, but anyway, it's a cool effect. And she gives birth to Sam, who can't really remember much of what's going on. It's kind of, he's obviously an alien, but it's like with some of Sam's DNA because he wants to find his son Tony. But so it's kind of like a alien amnesia sort of thing maybe. So I think he genuinely isn't sure what he is. It's kind of a bit grey area and doesn't really explain that so well. Anyway, he goes back to Goes back to the house, the apartment, finds Tony. Tony's super happy. Obviously, Rachel's really confused, and Joe isn't too happy about the situation. So that's pretty interesting. But there's also Annalise, who is played by Mayim Diabo, I think. Stunning woman. And yeah, she's like the live-in nanny sort of thing, housemaid nanny sort of thing. But yeah, they're all in the house together, and it's kind of like seeing how it all goes, kind of a bit weird. And there's this really annoying like neighbour, this old neighbour, and Tony has his pet snake who actually gets killed by like the pet snake escapes because Tony is eating the eggs. No, sorry, Sam is eating the snake's eggs, and Tony sees him, so he gets scared and runs off. The snake escapes and gets down into this old biddy's apartment, and he gets killed. The snake gets killed, so that's happening. But Sam chases Tony, and then continues. Catches him, explains everything's all right, and then kind of suckles on him. He's kind of sucking on his shoulder, and it's like kind of something from Society, Brian Usner, where it's kind of all stretching, so all this skin stretching, and yeah, it's that creates some sort of kind of not psychic ability, so some sort of ability. So this is where like Sam must have an idea about that is an alien, because he explains to Tony about his new abilities, and that it's kind of basically what he thinks of almost becomes real, or like he can make his toys become real when he thinks about it, so like this. So anyway, he kind of tests this out. He's got like this crazy like clown that's life-size, and he sends this life-size robot. It's so random to go downstairs and kill the neighbour. It's really weird. It's pretty cool, I must admit, watching that. It's like, yeah, I enjoyed that bit. But it's just weirdness, like why that's in there. Yeah, and then it's stupid how she gets caught, because she's like, she's got a thing for chocolates, and she has to try and she's under the sofa, and she sees chocolates on the floor whilst hiding from this thing that's trying to kill her. She's like, she's got to try and get one, and he's like, toy soldiers, who's got his bayonet, and he's stabbing her. So kind of funny craziness. But anyway, so Sam and Rachel go off to the countryside, go back to the house to try and kind of help jog Sam's memory. And so Miriam is looking after Tony, and then her boyfriend comes around, which is so they have like sex and that, but Tony wants to kind of play games, but quite sinister games. So she actually gets knocked out by his clown. She wants to play hide and seek and is doing a bad game. And then like the boyfriend is being dispatched by these tanks, this toy tank and things like this. And I think it's actually a Black Panther that actually comes alive and kills him in the end. So that's pretty cool. But then Tony impregnates. He starts sucking on the stomach of Miriam, and she gets impregnated, and then she's kind of in this cocoon womb thing again, kind of think Species, Natasha Henstridge, when she's kind of like in the train and she's in that cocoon. It's kind of a little bit like that. That's what it reminded me of, but you can kind of see Miriam in there. But that's all the craziness that's going on. That's why when before the boyfriend gets killed, he's like, he sees her in there and he's like, oh shit's going down. So yeah, that happens, and then Rachel and Sam end up getting it on, and then Sam, he's kind of all starts to go all weird and starts to decompose his body, and he's starting to, obviously, what we realise, he's starting to change into an alien sort of thing. But before that, Rachel had phoned, obviously checking on Tony, but couldn't get hold of him, so she phones Joe to go and check on him. Joe's like, what the hell is going on here? All this sorts of stuff. He takes, probably a bad idea, he goes to the cottage with Tony to go and see like what what the hell's going on with it, with all this stuff. And yeah, you got Sam that's kind of full blown alien at this point on this hill in this glowing light, and he's calling Tony to him. The spaceship's there to kind of take them back. You got this high pitched kind of whistly scream thing that it actually kills poor Joe, poor guy. He has a shit time throughout the film, kind of, and then takes Tony, and he's gone, and that's kind of it. You have Rachel. She goes back to the apartment. She sees all these eggs and stuff like that, and like it's like what's going on, and then jump scare right at the end. Egg kind of jumps out, an alien, and kills her. That's our film. Utter craziness. It's really entertaining. It's in some ways it's quite shitty, and in some ways it's quite good. It's really entertaining. It just kind of goes off on one, and you're like, what the hell is going on? But interesting characters, and it's well acted. I mean, even Tony the kid. Kids can be pretty tricky in films. Everyone in this film is pretty good, and it's just interesting. I think it's just a bit weird, a bit hard to follow at times. Not that it's a difficult kind of heavy film, but you're just like, what's going on? Why is it doing this? But anyway, that's kind of the run through the film. It's yeah, it's kind of pretty cool. It looks pretty good, especially like this restoration. It's like a 35mm film, and you have some nice grain and texture to it. But then there's some bits where they weren't able to clean it up too well, and you can really see that kind of almost like grindhouse kind of feel to it. But it's cool. It helps the film, and I like it. I like how it's all filmed. It's filmed pretty well actually, and like the bits of special effects and all the blood and the gore and that. It's all pretty well done. It's really cool that Second Sight put this out, because it's a film that really doesn't get a lot of love, and I understand why. It's definitely at least a 2-time watch. The first time I was like, I'm not with this, but ever since that I watched it again, and then a few times since. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it is a lot of fun. But anyway, that's the end of my review. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye bye.